reason and function, we would use a call flow control. The next thing we're going to go over is what's called a time condition as well as a time group. To give a little bit of a description of what exactly this does, time conditions are if you want your phone system to go from, let's say, day mode to night mode automatically. You don't want to have to trigger it. You just want the phone system to handle this task by itself, and away you go. So this is what we're going to do now. So to do that, we're going to hit Applications. We're going to scroll down. The first place we'll go is to time groups. I'll explain why we do this. It will be quite apparent once we go a little further into the video, but we'll do time groups. As you can see, there are a bunch of time groups already created. Disregard these. I'm going to actually remove this one because we're going to create something very similar. Okay, so now I'm going to add time group, and I'm going to name this test time group. Okay, so the time start, this is typically going to be when your business is open and ready to take calls. So that's how I'm going to configure this now in a typical, 8:30 to 5 business. So we'll hit this drop down on time start and select 8. Now we'll go down to 30. Time finish, we're going to do 5 o'clock, which would be 17. Okay. So now the weekday start. So this is when you want your phone system to be open. In the case of creating a day and night, this does vary if you aren't using the time condition for day and night, but that's the example we're going to do. So weekday start, I'm going to do Monday. Weekday finish is going to be Friday. So now this time group is going to match from 8:30 to 5 o'clock p.m. or whatever your time zone is. So now we'll save this and submit. No need to apply config because we are not done. So now I'm going to hit Applications. And now let's go to Time Conditions. So the time group is the times you want to define. The time conditions are what you want the call to do when this time condition is met. So we'll do that. So we'll do add time condition. We'll just do test business hours. We'll disregard most of these settings. Most of these are never changed, but now we want to go over to time group. Now select our time group we just created. So now this time condition is going to use this time group, which was 8:30 to 5. Now the next field is asking when the times all match, what do you want the call to do? In this case, this would be our day mode. Our business hours are being met, so we would want that to either ring a ring group or potentially we would want that to ring a day auto attendant. I'm going to go with the day auto attendant example in this. I'll change it to a ring group just to show you how you would do that if that's your configuration. So now we'll do time matches. And let's say you wanted a day auto attendant and or an IVR. That's another term for auto attendant. Select that. Now you can see the first one that popped up is day IVR, so that would work for us. Now the destination non-matches, basically that time group, if it does not match, what do we want it to do? In that case, it's outside of business hours. We would want it to go to our night recording, our night auto attendant. So that's what I'm going to select here. I'm going to select IVR. And now I'm going to select night. So now this is a fully functional auto scheduling phone system. I will show you one other step to make this actually be able to work. The programming is done, but you have to tell your main number to point here, and I'm going to show you that in just 1 second. But if you did not want your phone system to go to an auto attendant and you wanted it to, let's say, ring in, very similar to what we just did, you would just hit this here. And you would go to ring groups and then select the ring group you want to ring in when your main number is called during your business hours. So we'll leave it like that for now and hit submit. And now that's in place. So we have one more step for this to actually take effect when your phone number is called, whether it's your main number, whether it's a secondary business's number, doesn't really matter. When a phone number is called, we want this time condition to come into effect. To do that, we're actually going to go to connectivity and then go down to inbound routes. We've been in this section in a previous video on this is where your phone numbers are programmed. So in this case, I'm going to select there's a phone number built here. Let's say I just wanted to add my main number hypothetically into here. We'll do test. We'll do add my phone number in here. All these other fields can be disregarded. So now the set destination, when this phone number is called, what do we want it to do? We want it to go to our time condition that we just created. So now, whenever my main number is called, when the time group matches, is going to ring the ring group I selected or the day IVR, whatever one you choose to configure. When it's outside of the time set in my time group, my time conditions are going to send it to the night auto attendant. So once we have that, we'll submit. And we are going to apply config now that we're done with this section. And now that is how you set automatic scheduling in the Nimbus phone system using time groups and time conditions.